We've got our special cutaway Mark V headstock set up here because I'm going to show you today how to change out the speed control. Not that this needs it, but we'll show you anyway. The speed control is a little mechanism inside here that moves this sheave back and forth. The sheave, as it goes this way, which would be, let's see, that would be to our, well, it's to my right, so your left. The speed gets faster and faster. As it goes back the other way, the speed gets slower and slower. The first thing that you need to do in order to change out the speed control is take this up to the highest possible speed and turn it off. And then, of course, unplug it. Very important step when doing any maintenance on the Mark V. Okay, the speed control is at the high point, and we've got the belt where it is very easy to take off the lower sheaves. Also, we've got this retaining clip right here, which will come easily off. This retaining clip is what holds the floating sheave here to the speed control quadrant arm. Now, I'm going to take off the belt simply by compressing the spring and taking the floating sheave towards me, and then just sort of walking the belt off, just like that. There we go. All right, belt, we don't have to take the belt all the way off, unless of course we need to replace it, but we're just going to leave everything just like it is right there. Now, I'm going to turn the Mark V around so that you can see what I'm about to do next. All right. Now at this point, I can move the speed dial back and forth because it really isn't moving anything, and I won't hurt anything in the works there. I'm going to take a 3/36-inch Allen, or 3/32-inch Allen wrench, and I'm going to feel down in there for. Hey guys, hang on, I'm going to have to break up a dog fight. Hey, buddy, Liberty, get over here. Get over here. You were on it down. Stay right there. Right there. Lay down. Lay down. Where you stay. Good dog. I'm taking a 3/36-inch Allen wrench, and there's a little slot in the side of this control handle, and I'm fishing down there until I find the Allen screw. And of course, in the run-through, I did this and found it immediately. But now that I'm on tape, it's going to take me the rest of my lifetime. But there it is. Okay, we loosen that and take this off. Speed dial over there. Now I'm going to, if you're putting on a new speed dial, you'll probably want to pull off this anti-rattle spring. That's right here. That keeps the speed dial from rattling when you change the speeds. And that doesn't keep the speed dial, it keeps the control handle. There's another spring under the speed dial itself that keeps it from rattling. Now we'll take off the 3 screws in the front here. And speed control and the ring come right out. Now, notice here that there is a small spring right here. You really shouldn't do, for this operation, don't have to do anything with that. This is the spring that keeps the speed dial itself from rattling. So just leave that where it is. Now at this point, you can buy this mechanism and just swap it out. Or if you have just bought the quadrant arm, you have to punch out, if we can come down here a little close, there's a roll pin right here. And you punch out that roll pin, put the new quadrant arm in, and then put the roll pin back in. While we've got this out here, I'm going to go ahead and turn this all the way, this way, and show you something down in here. If we can really come in close, there is a set screw. Close, there we go. Well, here. All right, see that the black post right in here? That is a set screw that stops this quadrant arm from going too far over and actually hitting the floating sheath. Well, I've got this apart. I'm going to take a little bit of lithium grease, which I've got right over here, and put some grease, just a tiny bit on those threads, and then put this thing back together. There we go. Now, put it back together is just about the same as taking it apart. Let's start with the speed control dial. Remember, make sure that spring, anti-rattle spring, is there. Then you put the speed control in. Okay. Let's put first spring in. And number 2. And number 3 with the control handle anti-rattle leaf spring. Now that anti-rattle leaf spring fits between 2 little nubs right here on the speed control itself. Let's tighten all of this down. Okay, now it's tight, and the speed dial will turn by itself because we haven't got it hooked to anything. What we're going to do now is take a sanding disc and mount that on the quill so we can use that as a big handle to turn the works inside here so that we can get everything adjusted. Now, I am going to put the drive belt back on simply by, once again, pulling the sheave towards me, trying not to pinch my fingers, and then walking it back on like so. This is where that sanding disc comes in really handy. Now, at this point, the floating sheave is back. I'm going to take it back as far as. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is high-speed alignment. I'm going to put the dial back on temporarily. Well, actually, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this jam nut, which for some reason was loose, and it shouldn't have been, and I'm going to back this this set screw out about a turn and a half. Put the nut back in so I don't lose it, and then we're going to put the speed dial back on. Come on. There we go. going to turn this around, and I want you to take a look at the belt, the V-belt, the drive belt on the motor sheaves. Okay? At this point, as you can see, that drive belt is within about, a 1/16 of an inch of the rims of the motor sheaves. Okay? Let's, can you come in a little tighter on that with camera C? Camera C, just come in tight. There we go. All right, I don't know if there's enough light under there to really see that, but you can see there's the rims and there's the belt itself. There's just about a 1/16 of an inch showing. If it's an older belt, you want there to be more like an 1/8 of an inch showing. So I'm going to back this off just a hair. Okay? There it is. That's an 1/8 of an inch. This is an older belt. If it was a newer belt, I could live with the 1/16 of an inch. But if I have an older belt and I've got a 1/16 of an inch, then probably this floating sheave is too far to my right and is in great danger of hitting the arms of the speed control mechanism. Okay? So older belt, 1/8 of an inch, newer belt, 1/16 of an inch. If the belt won't adjust up any more than an 1/8 of an inch, it probably needs replaced. Go ahead and mic the width of the belt. If it's under 7/16 of an inch, remember it started out 1/2 an inch. If it's under 7/16 of an inch, it's probably too old, needs to be replaced. But right now I got that right at about an 1/8. Now I'm going to do two things over here on the other side. Let's remove. There it is. Let's remove the speed dial. Now, I'm going to take this set screw and my 1/8 inch Allen wrench here, and I'm going to carefully turn this set screw until I feel it hit the arm. There it is, right there. It's hitting the quadrant arm of the speed changing mechanism. I'm going to tighten this down, the jam nut, with the set screw right there. By the way, the factory setting for this is with the top of the set screw flush with the jam nut. And just by doing this, going through this whole high-speed alignment, the top of this set screw is flush with the top surface of the jam nut. So I'm pretty sure that I've got it in the right position. At this point, this should be set correctly. When this is running at its highest speed, there we go. The sheaves, you don't hear any tinkling sound. The sheaves are not contacting the quadrant arm, so I'm pretty sure that that's correct. Now let's put the dial back on, but before we do so, we're going to run the dial all the way up to fast. Put this on, tighten this sucker up, and there we go. Okay, now let's take a look and see how we've done. I'm going to go ahead and take this off since we don't need it anymore, the sanding disc. This in. Okay, it stops right at slow. Okay, I gotta show you this. Feels so good to get something like this done. It's stopping right now at slow. a little past fast and stops about on slow. You never can get these things exactly right, but that's pretty good the way it is. Now, let's, at this point, if this weren't a cutaway, what I would do is put the belt cover back on, and we'd be done. So that's it. That's how to change the speed changer and make a high-speed adjustment. Okay, are there any questions about the speed control? Because let's see. Yes, the lamb chop is the quadrant.
Pull off.
What?
Speed down.
Oh, yeah, Ed. Yeah, if sometimes, and if the Allen screw inside the control handle isn't correctly tightened down, if it's just a little loose, it will create a burr inside the control, or on the post that the control handle is mounted on. And you can loosen that Allen screw until that actually falls out, and you'll still have trouble pulling that control handle off. What you need to do is just make sure that screw is loose, then pop it off with a screwdriver, or maybe 2 screwdrivers underneath it. We just had this problem with the machine, and then hit that, look for that burr, and hit it with a file. If you let that burr continue to build up, it will eventually ruin the control handle, and you'll have to replace it because it'll just eat right through it. At Shopsmith's website, you'll find dozens of free videos on all kinds of woodworking projects, from preparing lumber to applying a finish. Twice a month, we webcast a 2-hour Sawdust session where you can ask questions and get woodworking help right over your computer. To find out more, come visit us at shopsmith.com.